Now in this video lecture is in continuation to our previous video lecture where we were discussing, or where we have reached at this derivation of E upon m. We said that E upon m will remain same for electrons, right, and it varies, right, for positively charged particles, and it depends on the nature of the gas, right. Now we'll continue with our Millikan's oil drop experiment, right. Millikan's oil drop experiment is used to find the charge on an electron, right. This is also known as Millikan oil drop technique. This Millikan oil drop experiment, or we also call it as Millikan's oil drop technique, to find the to find the charge on an electron, right. Now this is a simple experiment, right. You also need to understand the diagram here, right, and we have some concepts from physics from the chapter fluids, where you read about Bernoulli's theorem and all. We'll be using some concept from that chapter. So if you know those concepts, or if you are familiar with the chapter fluids, it would be easy for you, the derivation of this Millikan's oil drop technique, right. This is the arrangement of Millikan's oil drop technique, right, where you see this atomizer. What this atomizer do, using this atomizer will spray these oil drops, right, inside this. These are oil droplets which are produced using this atomizer, right. Now this is a positive plate, right, and this is your negative plate. Using this positive and negative plate, we will apply electric field, right, in this region. This is your telescope. This telescope would be used to see this oil drops, right, which would be falling under gravity and under the effect of this electric field, when electric field would be applied, right. And you have these X-ray from source, right. We have X-rays. We will introduce X-rays in this region between these plates, right. What these X-rays will do, these X-rays will ionize the air between these plates, these electric plates, right. And when these X-rays will ionize the air between these plates, it will produce electrons, right, and positively charged particles, right. Because when X-rays will strike with the atoms, right, it will knock out electrons from the atoms, and the positively charged particles will remain. Now this is an atomizer. Using this atomizer, we have produced these oil droplets, right, and here this is a small hole in this region. Through this region, these oil droplets will move freely under gravity, right. All through this hole, these oil droplets will enter the space between these plates, right. So we'll consider two scenarios: the movement of this oil droplets under the effect of gravity, right, alone, and the movement of this oil droplet under the effect of this electric field and the gravitational pull, right. So first is, right, oil droplets would be produced by this atomizer, and this oil droplet would fall freely under gravity, right. Oil droplet would fall freely under gravity, right. So the force that is exerted by gravity, right, the force due to gravitational pull on this oil droplet, suppose this is the oil droplet, right, under observation. We are observing this oil droplet using this telescope, right. So the force that is exerted due to gravity on this oil droplet would be, force is equals to mg. M is the mass, of the oil droplet, right, and is and is not, let's not say moving, it's falling, right? And this oil droplet is falling with velocity u1, right, under gravity, and is exerted by this force, right? So this oil droplet, suppose this is your oil droplet, it's falling under gravity and is exerted by a force mg, right? This is the force that is being exerted on this oil droplet, right, when it is falling freely under gravity, right? So when this oil droplets, let's say since I said we have these charged metal plates, this is connected to positive source of the battery, this is connected to the negative source of the battery. So let's say now we apply electric field, right? Now we apply electric field, and this space, the space between these plates, has now electric field. Now let's see what is the effect of electric field on the motion of this oil droplet, right? When electric field is applied using metal plates, Now we need to consider one more thing. I said in the beginning that these X-rays, right, these X-rays will produce electrons in the space between the plates, right, when they collide with the atoms, right, between these electric plates, right? So when these X-rays will strike with the atoms, they will produce electrons, right? So we have electrons in the space between these metal plates, and when the oil droplet will come in contact with these electrons, some electrons will get attached to these oil droplets. Maybe 1, 2 or 3 electrons will get attached to these oil droplets, right? So when this oil droplet comes in contact with electrons, and these electrons are produced due to these X-rays. When oil droplet comes in contact with electrons due to X-rays, some electrons maybe 1, 2, 3 will get attracted to the oil droplets, right? Now this oil droplet will become negative, since negative electrons are attracted, right, to these oil droplets. So these oil droplets will acquire a negative charge, hence oil droplets would acquire negative charge due to electrons, right, due to these electrons. Now we are clear with this, that this oil droplet, right, has electrons attracted to it, and this oil droplet is negatively charged, right? Now this oil droplet, which is negatively charged, is, say, it's falling freely under gravity. This oil droplet, which is negatively charged, is falling freely under gravity and is acted upon by a force mg due to gravitational pull. Now suppose we apply electric field, right, electric field between this region, right? So when this oil droplet will enter this region, right, since we know that this oil droplet is negatively charged, so this oil droplet would be attracted to this positive plate, this positively charged plate. So this attraction would be in this direction, opposite, and this oil droplet we know falling in this direction, right? So just understand one thing, by controlling the magnitude of electric field, right, we can make this oil droplet to fall at a faster speed, right, or at a slower speed, or even we can make this oil droplet stationary, right, such that you can see with this telescope that this oil droplet is stationary, it's not moving, right? So now since this oil droplet is negatively charged, so oil droplet would be attracted to positively charged plate. This oil droplet would be attracted by the positively charged plate, hence the droplet can be retarded. Retarded means we can slow down its speed, or accelerated means we can increase the speed with this by varying the electric field, or can be made stationary, right, by varying the electric field, right? So just make sure you are clear with these things, that an oil droplet without electric field, when it's falling under gravity, it's acted upon by force mg, right? When it will enter the space between the plates, right, the air is ionized, we have electrons that would get attracted. These electrons would get attracted to these oil droplets. These oil droplets will acquire a negative charge, and since we have electric field applied, so this oil droplets would be attracted to the positive plate of the battery. So we can slow down these oil droplets, right? We can make these oil droplets to travel at a faster rate, or we can make these oil droplets stationary by varying the electric field, right? So now we will look more into it, right? So now the scenario is, what is the force? Like we have studied before in Thomson's experiment, when this oil droplet will enter this electric field, it is acted upon by a force which is equal to the product of electric field and the charge on the droplet. We know that this droplet is now charged by attracting 1, 2, 3, 4 number of electrons, right? So Millikan observed that the charge q on the droplets, okay, we'll just come to that later. First, let's just understand this thing. This is without, this force is under no electric field, right? Now when electric field E is applied, then the force, right, that would be acted upon on this oil droplet would be, force is equals to EE, right? And this force we know is getting acted upon is in opposite direction, right? This force due to gravity is acting downwards, and this force, right, this force due to electric field, right, is acting upwards, right? So this force is acting downwards, right, and this force is acting upwards, right? So we have two opposite forces acting here. So the net force would be, this is the oil droplet, it is falling under force F, right? Force due to Fg, let's say Fg, force due to gravity, mg, due to this electric field, an opposing force is getting acted on this oil droplet, which is F due to electric field is equals to EE, right? So net force would be, since this is still falling, if let's consider it's falling down, so net force acting downwards, F would be equal to mg minus EE, right? So here, when there is no electric field, right, this oil droplet is falling with the velocity u1, right? Now let's say when we have applied electric field, it's acting in opposite direction, so its velocity will tend to reduce. So the velocity due to force due to electric field is, let's say it's u2. Now when electric field is applied, right, when electric field is applied, the velocity of this oil droplet would change to u2, right? And we know that this velocity is directly proportional to the force, right? Because here, if let's say if it's falling with a high velocity, that means the downward force is high. This force is high. Suppose it's acting slow. Suppose this oil droplet is now falling slowly. The speed or the velocity has decreased. That means the force which is acting upwards has increased. The more is the force that is acting upwards towards this positive plate, right, or due to this electric field that is getting attracted, because this oil droplet is attracted to the positive plate due to the electric force, right, due to the force due to this electric field, right? So more is this force, more is this part, right, more is the velocity, right, that is acting upward, or the more is the force that is acting upward, so slower would be the velocity, right? So we can write it like this, that u1 upon u2, right, this u1 upon u2 is equal to, this u1 is the velocity without electric field and u2 is the velocity due to electric field. This is mg, right, from here, and this is your mg minus ee, right? So if we know the mass of the oil droplet, right, we can, and the electric field, right, we can find the charge, right, and if we know the u, the velocity of the oil droplet. And if you, now we have to go back to our concepts of physics in fluids, which is when a droplet is falling freely under gravity, right, its velocity is given by its velocity of when a liquid droplet is falling freely under gravity, its velocity is given by Stokes' law, right, which is u is equals to, its the velocity is, it's 2g r square rho upon 9 eta. This is the velocity of the oil droplet falling freely, and this is as per Stokes' law, right? And the mass, since if we consider this oil droplet as spherical, right, so mass of the oil droplet would be, if it's spherical, we know that density is equals to mass upon volume. So mass would be volume into density, 4 by 3 pi r cube. R is the radius. Let's say this is spherical, so the radius of this spherical drop would be r, and into rho. Rho is the density of the oil droplet. So the mass of the oil droplet is given by this formula, right, and the velocity of the oil droplet falling freely would be given by this formula, right, 2g r square. R square is the radius, eta is the coefficient of viscosity, right, coefficient of viscosity of air, because if it's falling freely, it's acted upon in opposite direction, the resistance due to air is acting, right? So this eta is the coefficient of viscosity due to air, and rho is the density of the oil droplet, r is the radius, right? So these are the two formula which are from fluids, right? So charged droplets move under gravity and acquire constant velocity u1 and force when force F of gravity is balanced by air resistance, right? So force on the droplet due to electric field, right, would be this. It would be the net force would be this mg minus EE, right? This is the force on the droplet due to electric field, right? So under gravity we have u1 is equals to the speed, right, under gravity is 2g r square rho upon 9 eta, right? This is as per Stokes law, and this mass of the oil droplet would be volume into density. Volume is, if we consider this as sphere, we consider this oil droplet as sphere, it's 4 by 3 pi r cube rho. Rho is the density of the oil droplet, right? So the radius r is determined with the help of equation 5, right? From this equation, from this Stokes law, we can find the radius of the droplet and we can put the value of radius here, right? Once we know the radius, we'll get to know the mass, right? Because once we know the mass here, once you know the mass, right? Once you know the mass of the oil droplet and velocity u1, u2, right? You can find the charge E. Charge E can be found if you know the mass, right, the electric field and u1 and u2, right? And to find velocity, we know the velocity, so from here we can find the radius, right? Mass of the oil droplet can be found out from this formula, right? 4 by 3 pi r cube rho, and this radius can be found out using Stokes law, this, right? These are mathematical calculations. Just understand what we are doing here. We just want to find the value of E, the charge on an electron, right? So if you know the mass, right, mass of this droplet which is falling can be found out using this formula, right? And radius can be found out using this Stokes law, right? And if you substitute all these values here, you can find the value of E, right? So what Millikan did, Millikan did this for, Millikan repeated his this experiment, right? Millikan repeated this experiment using for different oil droplets, right? And he found that the value of charge E, right, value of, let's call it as charge as Q, the value of charge is always equal to the multiple, right, is always equal to the integral multiple of the simple charge E. So E, multiple of E is n, where n is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, right? Because if you remember, in the beginning I said that this oil droplet, right, can attach 1, 2 or 3 electrons, right? So this charge that is found using this formula can be due to 1, 2, 3 or 4 electrons that get attached to this oil droplet, right? So once you know the value of charge Q on any droplet, you will find that this value is an integral multiple of E, which is 1.60 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. This we know is the value of charge, and this is negative if it's electron, right? So this is always found to be 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb multiple, right? So this shows, okay, what you can deduce, because here the charge, right, that is found using these relations, we found that the charge is always integral multiple of this simple charge due to 1 electron. Since this is integral multiple of since it is integral multiple of charge due to 1 electron, which is E, that means this oil droplet has 1, 2 or 3 electrons attached, right? When it is falling and when it is falling under gravity, and when it comes in the region between these plates, it attaches 1, 2 or 3 electrons, right, due to the ionized air here in this region, right? So I hope this is clear. So here you have now the value of charge E, right? Charge can be calculated using Millikan's oil drop experiment, and using Thomson's experiment you have the value of E upon m. So mass can be calculated as E upon m, right? We know that E is equals to, what is the value of E? The value of E is 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb, right? This is 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb, and E upon m we have calculated from previous lecture. If you remember, from this experiment we have calculated the value of E upon m, and the value of E upon m is 1.758 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb per gram. 1.75875 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb, right, kilogram minus 1. So this value, the mass of electron, will come out to be, if you calculate this using this calculation, the mass of electron will come out to be 9.109 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kilogram. This is the value of the mass of an electron, right? And this mass, right, this is the value of mass of an electron, and this mass is called as the rest mass. Why we call it a rest mass? Because it is moving with a speed much smaller than that of the light. We also call this as rest mass, right? And we know that this mass, the value of this mass is very small, right? That is why in an atom we say that the mass of an electron is negligible. This value is very, very small. It is, if you compare it with that of, even with the lightest element, which is hydrogen, it will come out to be very less, right? So this is it. This is your Millikan's oil drop experiment, and using Millikan's oil drop experiment we can calculate the charge on an electron, right? So once you have the charge on an electron due to Millikan's oil drop experiment and E upon m ratio due to Thomson's experiment, right? Once you have these two values, you can find the mass of an electron, right, which we now know is 9.109 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kilogram, right? So this is important, right? This comes under basics, right? You should know all these experiments that we are doing in the structure of atom, because in order to study this higher chemistry, right, that you will do in graduation, you should be clear with all these concepts, right? So I'll just quickly repeat. What we have done here is, this atomizer will produce oil droplets. The first case is when oil droplets is moving under no electric field, right? It would be acting upon by this force, right, due to gravitation, which is F is equals to mg, right? Now suppose we apply electric field, right? So when this oil droplet will enter this region between these plates, it will attract some electrons, 1, 2 or 3, right, and these electrons are in this region due to these X-rays, because X-rays will ionize the air and will produce electrons, which get attached to the electrons, which get attached to this oil droplet. So oil droplet will become negatively charged and would be attracted to the positive plate of this arrangement, right? It will be attracted to the positive plate. It would be attracted to this positive plate. So the force will get reduced. The force on this droplet will get reduced because an opposing force is getting applied due to this electric field. The force would be mg minus ee. Ee is force due to this electric field, right? So let's suppose without electric field, it's flowing under gravity with a velocity u1, and in the presence of electric field it's flowing with a velocity u2, right? So u1 upon u2 is equals to mg upon mg minus ee, right? Because